Have you ever wondered why spanking a child was once considered normal parenting, but now it could get you a visit from Child Protective Services? It seems like the line between discipline and abuse has become incredibly blurry. Today, we're diving deep into why discipline is increasingly being viewed as abuse, the serious dangers this confusion creates for our kids, and how we, as parents and caregivers, can find our way back to a healthy, effective approach. Let's start with a bit of a reality check. In many circles, any form of firm correction is immediately labeled as harmful. A parent raises their voice in the supermarket, and they're met with disapproving glares. A teenager gets their phone taken away for breaking a major rule, and suddenly the parents are accused of being controlling or even emotionally abusive. How did we get here? A big part of it is a cultural shift. We've moved from a more authoritarian parenting style, where because I said so was the final word, to a more permissive one. This shift came from a good place. We learned more about child psychology and the long-term negative effects of harsh, physical punishment. We rightly became aware of the trauma that real abuse causes. The problem is, in our effort to protect children from harm, we've started to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We've become so afraid of causing any discomfort or unhappiness that we've lost sight of what discipline actually is. Discipline isn't about punishment for the sake of punishment. The root of the word discipline is disciple, which means to teach or to guide. True discipline is about teaching our children right from wrong, helping them develop self-control, and giving them the tools they need to navigate the world successfully. It's about setting clear, consistent boundaries that make them feel safe and secure, even if they don't like those boundaries in the moment. So, why the confusion? One major factor is social media. We see perfectly curated highlight reels of family life, and it creates this unrealistic expectation that childhood should be a conflict-free zone of pure happiness. Any sign of struggle or parental firmness can be instantly judged and shamed by a global audience. We also have a generation of parenting experts online, some with great advice, but others who promote ideologies that sound nice on the surface but are impractical and even damaging in reality. They might advocate for gentle parenting in a way that completely removes consequences, leaving parents feeling powerless and kids running the show. This confusion has dangerous consequences. When we fail to set boundaries, we're not raising happy, well-adjusted kids. We're raising children who struggle with entitlement. They don't learn how to handle frustration or disappointment because they've never been allowed to experience it. They don't develop resilience because they've never had to bounce back from a mistake or face the natural consequences of their actions. Think about it. The world has rules. There are deadlines at work, traffic laws on the road, and social norms we have to follow. If a child never learns that actions have consequences within the safe environment of their home, how will they cope when they face real-world consequences that are far less forgiving? A boss won't gently ask them to please try and meet a deadline next time. They might lose their job. This is the real danger of confusing discipline with abuse. We are failing to prepare our children for life. Moreover, a lack of discipline can seriously strain the parent-child relationship. When kids have no boundaries, they often feel insecure and anxious. They might act out more, constantly testing to see where the line is, desperately seeking the structure they need but aren't getting. This leads to a chaotic home environment filled with stress and conflict, which is the opposite of the loving, peaceful home we all want to create. Parents become exhausted, resentful, and feel like failures. It's a vicious cycle. So how do we fix this? How do we reclaim healthy discipline without crossing the line into abuse? First, we need to redefine discipline for ourselves. Let's move away from the idea that it's about anger and punishment and embrace the idea that it's about love and teaching. When you discipline your child, the underlying message should always be, I love you too much to let you behave this way. I'm doing this because I want you to be a good, capable, and kind person. This is a fundamental mindset shift. Your goal is connection and correction, not control and coercion. Second, we need to be clear about what abuse actually is. Abuse is any action that intentionally harms a child physically, emotionally, or psychologically. It's driven by a parent's need for power and control, their own unresolved anger, or a complete disregard for the child's well-being. It demeans, belittles, and injures. Discipline, on the other hand, is driven by love and a desire for the child's long-term good. It builds character, teaches responsibility, and upholds a child's dignity, even while correcting their behavior. Let's get practical. What does healthy discipline look like? It starts with clear expectations. Your kids should know the rules of the house and the consequences for breaking them. These rules should be reasonable, age-appropriate, and consistent. Consistency is key. If you only enforce a rule some of the time, it becomes meaningless. Consequences should also be logical and related to the misbehavior. If your teenager breaks their curfew, a logical consequence is losing their going out privileges for a weekend. This teaches them a direct lesson about responsibility. Grounding them from their phone for a month for spilling milk, however, is not logical. It's punitive and likely to cause resentment rather than learning. The goal of a consequence is to teach, not to make the child suffer. And let's talk about delivery. Your tone matters more than you think. You can deliver a firm consequence with a calm and loving voice. You can say, "I know you're upset that you can't use the iPad right now, but you didn't clean up your toys like we agreed. You can have it back once your toys are put away." This validates their feelings while still holding the boundary. There's no need for yelling, shaming, or lecturing. Keep it simple, direct, and respectful. Remember, you are the parent. You're the captain of the ship. It's your job to steer your family in the right direction. And sometimes that means navigating through stormy waters. Your kids aren't going to thank you for setting limits in the moment. In fact, they'll probably protest loudly. But you're not trying to be their friend, you're trying to be their parent. Your job is to prepare them for the future, and that requires teaching them self-discipline, respect, and responsibility. Think of it like being a coach. A good coach pushes their athletes. They make them run drills they don't enjoy and hold them accountable when they slack off. They do this not because they want to be mean, but because they want the team to win. They see the potential in their players and are committed to helping them achieve it. That's our role as parents. We see the incredible potential in our children, and through loving discipline, we coach them toward becoming the best versions of themselves. So, let's tune out the noise and the judgment. Let's get clear on our mission as parents. We are not here to be our children's servants or to shield them from every negative experience. We are here to guide them, teach them, and prepare them for a successful and fulfilling life. That requires the courage to set boundaries, to enforce consequences, and to discipline with love. It's one of the hardest parts of being a parent, but it's also one of the most important. By doing so, we give our children the structure they crave and the skills they will need for the rest of their lives. Thanks for watching today. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more conversations about modern parenting. What are your biggest challenges with discipline? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.